In this video, we are going to talk about the history of computing, the present state of the field, as well as what we can see in the future. So old school computers were not always electrical, in fact they were mechanical, and computer was a job title way before it was a machine. In fact, people used to be called computers who would solve lots of problems on large sheets of paper using some analytical methods. Charles Babbage, who is shown right here, is credited with the design of the first computer or the analytical engine. Ada Lovelace is generally credited, she's shown here, she's credited as the first programmer. On this slide you will see Margaret Hamilton. She was one of the pioneers of the Apollo program in the 1960s. She was also she wrote majority of that code for the Apollo program. Early computers were really costly. In fact, they costed millions or probably billions of dollars in today's terms, and they would fill buildings, and they didn't had as much computing power which the current devices have, which is the mobile phone that you are storing in your pocket right now has more processing power than those early computers in the 1950s. Also, the shared computing was a norm, and there was lots and lots of papers which was fed to these systems, and these systems gave as output like printed documents. Mistakes were really costly, and these were typically reserved for research or for military purposes. In fact, they came to universities or institutes of higher education way later, and they were typically reserved around some of the elite universities. So computing today has been evolved a lot, has taken a lot of ideas from science fiction, and the science fiction of today is also giving a lot of ideas for the future of computing. Like some of the devices we use right now, like smartphones, came out of the initial Star Trek movies. Handheld sensors were also from the Star Treks. Autonomous vacuums, you might have a robot vacuum cleaner that came out of Jetsons. Video chat also came out of Jetsons. I don't know if you guys have watched Jetsons or not, one of my favorite shows. AI assistant came out from 2001 Space Odyssey, and finally tablets came out also out of Star Trek. So what's ahead? How does the computing field look like in the future? Some of the inventions that are going on right now, which some of the problems have already been solved, some they are almost on the verge of being solved, and some might be solved in the next few decades, are these particular areas that are shown here, which is the first one is autonomous vehicles. I don't know if you guys have tried this out or not, but in Phoenix, Arizona or in California, you see a lot of these vehicles. You can even try them, call them by an app. They do not have any drivers. All of this is made possible using computers or computer science. Another problem is invention that we saw a lot is the robust voice recognition. If you saw some of the videos by Google, if you just Google Duo, I think you'll see how an AI system can talk to you and you won't be able to identify who is on the line. So kind of replacing a lot of jobs, which is sad, but it is giving human beings more time to solve additional problems or work on more interesting things rather than repetitive tasks. Another example is brain-computer interaction. This came out of the movie called The Matrix. Substantial progress has again been made in this. I don't know if you guys watched the video a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was just last week by Neuralink, where one of the tech entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, created something called the Link, which is like a BCI device. I would recommend you all to watch that video where they have plugged in this device in the brain of a pig, and they can capture all the data from the brain or from the neurons. And again, this is an example of computing. Another example is pervasive augmented reality, which are like these headsets. Some of you might have actually used Oculus or VR headsets or augmented reality headsets like HoloLens and stuff. They are becoming really commonplace, and in the future we are going to see lot of really interesting applications of these devices, which is still like an open canvas. Like if you start in these technologies, you're going to see these becoming more streamlined, and over the next few decades, the technology will get much more mature. Another thing is drone delivery. Amazon has been already trying with it. There are several other companies that are trying drone based deliveries, which can allow us for faster delivery in like less price than we currently have. The last one is blockchains. Everybody might know what bitcoins were. They were huge craze like last year. They are still deemed as a technology for the future. Maybe our currencies are all erased and we just use bitcoins in the future. So maybe there are other opportunities that are not listed, but that's pretty much it. Like that's how the future might look like. It looks really exciting, and you guys have the potential to change it, to frame it, and to imagine what can be the new applications that you want to see in computing, and develop those tools and systems. Our job is to equip you guys with the tools that will allow you to generate such systems or think big. That's it for this video, and in the next video we are going to talk about what are the different careers that are available in computer science. Thank you.